Hello, hello. Today is the second day of my 5 days of Christmas. And as you can see, today I have my family's stockings on display. The really pretty one is mine, by the way. I made my parents buy it when I was small. I was such a jerk back then. It's probably throwing a tantrum to get it. But, you know, what can you do when a little kid throws a tantrum? Anyways, wow, I do not like my hair. It looks like a mess. Do you see that? Like all these wisps of hair just sticking out. And like right here, like my bangs, there's like an unusually long layer because my hair is layered, and so it looks just really weird. Anyways, so today I will be doing a quick lesson because I know that basically we had a super long lesson yesterday with How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but hey, it's a good book, so it's all alright. But anyway, so today we'll be focusing on inductive and deductive reasoning. Why is this important? Well, it is important because if you want to work in the humanities and look back at history, or or if you're working in research, then you're going to have to know how to come to a general conclusion or how to predict something. And that's how, and that's what inductive and deductive reasoning are for. It's to help you come to a prediction. And so that is what I'm going to teach you today. This is definitely a really valuable skill to learn, especially because a lot of people tend to go into research, especially with like science, humanities, like I was saying. If you're taking AP Sem this year, AP Research, you're definitely going to have to know about inductive and deductive. So, like I said, I'll keep it short today. So I'll go over what they are really quickly. Alright, so basically deductive reasoning, you start with this general theory, this general conclusion, and you kind of like work your way down. And so you get down to a conclusion based on evidence, starting with a general theory. Like, let me give you an example. Here's an example of deductive reasoning. My theory is that all cars that are convertibles and are red are fast. So that's the theory. Okay, so then let's say you see a car that is red. And then you look closer and you see that it is a convertible. So what is your conclusion? It is fast. Now the other reasoning is called inductive reasoning. And so with inductive reasoning, it's basically the opposite of deductive reasoning. So in inductive reasoning, you start with these small pieces of evidence and then you kind of piece them together to make it into a big conclusion. So here is an example. So let's say there is a prairie chicken that is running fast. There's another prairie chicken that is running fast. And there's a third prairie chicken that is running fast. What can you conclude? Prairie chickens like to run fast. By the way, I do not know if that is true or not. I just thought of prairie chickens because they're an endangered species. Who knew? Anyway, so there are two ways you can remember this. The first one is for deductive. What you should do is, for deductive, you should remember, I guess you should associate it with the word decide. You have this general theory that decides or helps you decide, make a final conclusion based on an observation. With inductive reasoning, you should remember that with invent, because you have these little observations that help you invent a general conclusion. Just remember, deductive, decide. Do you see how the DEs, both words start with a DE? And then inductive and invent. Both words start with an IN. Oh, and it's going to show up backwards so well. So that's how you can remember it. And I mean, you really only need to remember one of those rules because then for the other one, you'll know that it's the opposite. So like if you use invent for inductive, then that means you'll know that these little observations invent this giant conclusion. So therefore, you can reason that the opposite which is deductive reasoning. Means you're going from a big conclusion to the little details. Okay, so let's do some practice. And so to do that, I will tell you some Christmas stories. Or actually, we're going to play a game of Santa Claus and decide who has been naughty and who has been nice. Okay, first story. Once upon a time, there was this little girl who went to visit her friends in California. She was invited to her friend's house for dinner, right? And so, afterwards they're all having fun and they were like hanging around in their living room. And her friend just had all of these new toys that he had just opened because it was like the day after Christmas, I think. And so he basically had his toys lying around on the floor. And, all the adults were talking. And the girl takes a step back. And just then, she feels something under her feet. And it gives way. There's a little crack. And she looks around and no one's noticed anything. So she kind of just steps off, looks at the ground casually, kicks the toy to the side, and just continues to stand there and join in the conversation. So no one has noticed except the boy. All of a sudden he's like, oh my god, I need to show you my new present to everyone. Because he was really excited about them. And so he picks it up and he's like, it's broken. And then, oh my god, he gets really mad. Like, he starts blaming his mom, he starts blaming his father, and he's just like, oh my god, why is it broken? And he's like pointing fingers at them, and he's like, you broke it, you broke it, you broke it. And then, oh god, this little girl felt so bad. Because she was just like, oh, I broke it, but I don't really want to say anything. And so she doesn't say anything. So okay, so let's say Santa's looking down on this, he's already deciding on a list for next year, and he's like, okay, well, to determine if a child is naughty, then this has to happen. She must have lied to people. She must not have admitted the truth. She must have done something bad to, I guess, hurt other people. And so this girl has basically lied because she didn't tell her friend the truth. She has hurt her friend because she broke his toy. So what can we induct? Because remember, we have these little observations and now... So, what can we deduct? Because remember, we have this general conclusion now that Santa will put people who lie, people who hurt others on the naughty list. And now we're coming to a general conclusion that is smaller than that. So what can we deduct? Da 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 da. Okay. If you said that we can deduct that this little girl is going to be on the naughty list, you are so right. And guess who that little naughty girl was? It was me. Yeah, like a long time ago, but I still feel really bad about it. So, sorry. Sorry to my friend if you ever see this. I love you. Though I guess you wouldn't know it's me. Okay, let's try another example. So there was this little boy, right? And he is so nice, so kind. And basically what he does is, if you ever saw him, you would see him always helping others. He would be cleaning out the trash for his parents. He'd be washing the dishes. I don't know what kind of perfect child this is, but he is so perfect in every way. And then one day, he accidentally breaks a vase in his house. Wow. And it was his parents' favorite vase. And so his parents are out, and basically he's like just vacuuming the home because his mom was really stressed, and his dad was like, oh my god, okay, you need to go out because you're really stressed from work. because basically his parents work for him because, you know, they're not rich or anything, and so he breaks this vase, this really prized vase that's also very expensive. And so what does he do? You know, he could lie about it. He could just be like, oh shoot, I was just vacuuming and it fell. So basically he could tell the truth. He could lie about it, like I said before, because they do have a dog. And so, what do you guys think he does? Well, remember, he's a perfect child, so he actually tells his parents the truth because he's very good that way. I mean, personally, I probably would have lied, but he tells the truth. And so, based upon these observations, he is a perfect child, he does his chores, and he tells the parents the truth about the broken vase, which, by the way, they didn't get mad about for whatever reason. I think he just has perfect parents too. Must be genetics. But yeah, so based on these three observations, he does not lie, he does chores, he listens to his parents, he is a perfect child. I guess that was 4 observations. What can we induct? Because remember, we're going from these observations about him to the general conclusion. So, will he be a perfect child on Santa's list? Or will he be a naughty child? Should sing some Christmas tunes for you guys while you think. Jingle bells, jingle bells rock. Jingle bells swaying, jingle bell ring. Dashing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. Now the jingle has just begun. Jingle bells, jingle bell rock. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of the Mean Girls scene. I love that movie. Okay, so if you said that he will be on the nice list, you are correct. And so that is the general gist of inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. Remember, deductive, decide. You're going from big theory to small conclusion. Inductive, invent. You're going from small observations to big conclusion. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe if you want to learn more. Comment below on what you think I should cover, because I've honestly been making these random videos on like random subjects that I think are important, but I don't know what you guys want to learn about. So tell me what you guys want to learn. Leave a comment. Have a good Christmas. Be a good kid. Be on that nice list. Yeah. Buy your parents presents. Talk to you later.